Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on Apollo today, and we're going to go with Panette Squad. It could also be Felix Squad, I don't know. But the Gale Force team is up and running, and we're going to go in once more. In constructing this team, I was really trying to get Crom in, Brave Crom. Ooh. There's another ice thing there that I didn't consider. Huh. Robin here actually did something that I didn't plan for. I was anticipating the ice terrains being only on the trap and below the Grin. But there's also one that's going to be where Emran is, and that actually changes how this plays out, because that was not in the plan. I was not planning for an icing to be there. I should probably read exactly what the shape of that ice terrain is, because yeah, that one I don't like. That one is kind of in the way. I'm gonna have to reconsider my strategy, but while I do that, yeah, I was saying that I'm gonna have to play this one on the fly. It's probably gonna be really scuffed, but we'll see how it pans out. But I was trying to get Brave Crom onto this team because of his extraction, naturally. But I just couldn't find a way to fit him in, because he would have to take the spot that Baby Govig is in. And Govig's, what she brings to the table is more valuable than what Crom brings to the table. Not that, Wings of Mercy on Crom isn't an option, or that you can't go in and to change fate and then go again. The problem with Crom is that I can't. It's hard. Let's say this. Just overall, the warp potential from Baby Govig is far superior than what Crom is able to offer, because I won't always be able to guarantee. Like in this match right here, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to 50% to be able to use Wings of Mercy in this setup here, because I don't think anyone is going to do any damage to Panette. She's going to one-shot everything here. Or the units that are in the front line, they're the main targets. Aside from Altina, these are all squishy units, and they're just going to die in one hit. So Panette won't have any problems in terms of taking damage, which is, unless I were to step on that trap, which I don't want to do, because it's a gamble between that one and the one below, and I think the one up top underneath Emran is the real one in any case. But I don't think I'm going to step on that, unless worse comes to worse and I really just can't avoid it, but I don't think I'm going to. But what Baby Govig offers with her dual button is just far more mobile. Not just to the unit herself, but to everyone around her. And I feel like overall that's better support than what Crom is providing, with it to change fate on just one unit. So that's why I ended up going with Baby Govig on this team. So we're going in with Felix first, get rid of the dual unit, then we're going to pop Baby Govig's dual button so that you can see, which again has just tremendous range. It's absolutely insane that they're providing that much mobility option. But here we are in the game. But then also, there's young Emran, and that's kind of like counterplay, I guess, however you want to look at it. But yeah, the ice terrain here, again, man, is, I think I said this in the last video, this is just highly valuable in terms of what you're able to do with this terrain. It shuts down so many fake Gale Forcers. Kind of like myself, I'm kind of a fake Gale Forcer. I really prefer the Omni tank, but I can whip it out of the bag if I need to. But yeah, it's such a big wrench that if you don't know how to properly play around it, or if you don't have any terrain effects to override it, it really will just put you in a bad spot, and that's kind of what I'm trying to deal with right now. I have a couple options to play with here, and I just got to figure out which one is the right one, because I also have, which is why I do a Peonies here, the dual button from Peony as well to give me an extra action. So yeah, just a lot of things to think about. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to go about this. I could have went with Azura as well, but Azura's stance is a little bit more limiting. Alright, sorry about that. Had to get my thoughts together there. Try to figure out how to get through this one without messing it up, because I am going to be able to clear this. I just have to make sure that I position my units properly. Ooh, I was hoping that would be the fake trap, but it's fine. Because we're going to go in with a dance here from dual peony and then pop another dance with the dual button and then close this one out. We're going to shut down some units here with Baby Golvig, and that again is, or I think that is the, well, did I say this? That's the main reason that, or actually not main, that's another reason that she's better than Brave Crom, because of how much she offers to a Gale Force team. So I just had to choose her. She was in Light Season before, but I have Summer Golvig over there now, so it kind of feels unnecessary to bring. I realized that I just wasn't using Baby Golvig in Light Season, so I decided just to bring her over to Astra Anima to add on to, you know, whatever else I can do over here. I guess maybe whenever Satyr becomes bonus, I can drop Jimbro here and bring Satyr instead, so I have two options to shut people down. But Jimbro offers a ton of stats, so there's also that to be considered. I'm getting a ton of stats from to Felix here for his AoE, so there's that. And also my Satyr, I think I mentioned before, isn't very invested, so she's missing stat checks quite often for the lockdown. So I don't know, we'll see what happens in the future, but for now this is the team. I was considering going with the Celica team here, because Celica would have actually just cleaned this up no problem, and then there's dual Leon on that team as well, so it would have been a lot easier to go that route, but I just wanted to show off Felix. This ended up not being the best gameplay for Felix here, because this is pretty scuffed. I had to figure my way through this. Yeah. So, but here you go. Here's Felix. It's happening. After this, I gotta go start practicing for summoner duels, because apparently that's this week. Yeah. Who's bonus? Not's bonus, which is cool, because she's actually like the only usable Dark Mythic I feel aside from Loki. Bolt Tower next week in Ather raid, so I'm gonna have to dig up Medius, of course, not taking Bolt Towers to the face for no reason. But then also, what else is happening next week? Wolf's bonus. It's the brother and sister combination. Becky and Jimbro are also bonus, so Summoner Duels is gonna be hella tough. I also don't have a team composition with them as well, so I need to practice to see how they actually work. I did, do a couple of tests, but it didn't go exactly. Oh, I didn't shut down for Mortis. That could have been bad. I forgot that it's cardinal directions, which I could have actually done. I just needed to break the structure. Well, then I wouldn't have been able to kill it. Well, it worked out in the end. Everything's all's well that ends well, and we got the pots and we're going to close this out. But yeah, I haven't practiced a lot with Jimbro, so I don't know exactly how his matchups will go in Summoner Duels. So that's something that it's going to take a while before I can play my matches. Yeah. Kind of excited for this Summoner Duels go around to see SDS, to see how the new units impact the game. Should be some different playstyles. We'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of practice to do. A lot of practice. But that's it for this one. Closing out the match, and scuffed, but we got the win. See you in the next one, I guess. All right. Hello. Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on Muman today. You see the name. Oh man, I was stressed out when I saw this one. I could not have even narrated this or talked through this while playing, because I was so stressed out and kind of focused and locked in that it really wouldn't have made any sense for me to commentate while I tried to play this, because it would not have been anything more than just me being quiet and saying like, crap, damn, yes, stuff like that. But here we are. We're going over the match pretty much. Yeah, Muman, if you don't know, fantastic player. He's very good at building defenses, and this is what he's currently running. Don't know if this is maybe changed by the time that you're seeing this. Well, actually, no, this is the same day post, so I don't think it will. But yeah, had to like figure out first off what team I'm gonna use. I didn't want to use Felix because immediately when I look at this, I'm like, yo, this trap placement is horrible. Or for me, because I'm pretty sure that the two traps in the front are real, because Mur's there being far safe, so it doesn't matter if the two traps in the back are real or not, because you can't bust through this Mur. I think is +1 or something, but highly invested. Yeah, you're not busting through that Mur. And then the front line here is just all tanky units who will be incredibly difficult to bust through. So I was trying to figure out if I could try to tank this with Amelia, but I wasn't sure about Amelia versus Nurgle. There's the Lagoose Friend 4 on Igrin, which is incredibly based. I would not do that because I don't have the fodder, but it works. I tell you from now, it definitely works. But yeah, I was considering tanking with Amelia, but I was like, Nurgle versus Amelia doesn't sound very good because of the essence drain, and once Amelia loses all of her stuff, it's pretty much GG's from there. And then the biggest issue, or the second biggest issue, was the baby Robin here. If she rallied below on Freyr, then her range would get to a point where it would be too difficult for me to try to omni-tank it with any of my other teams, let's say Erica. And if Erica gets hit, because baby Robin there has Hardy Bearing, Erica would have lost all of her stuff. Her speed smoke, her no follow-up, all of the stuff would have been gone, and then Nurgle would have came in and gotten the kill. So the tanking strategies automatically out of the picture, which leaves me with initiating with Duo Leon or Emblem Celica. Neither of those are going to be able to take out Mur here because of the Breath of Life support, as well as the Divine Nectar, and then the debuffs and the support drives and all of that. It just wouldn't have worked out, so I had to use Felix. My problem is where to initiate, because he's no way he's killing that Ike. No way. So the only other option is to either take out Freyr or Nurgle, and I know for a fact that he can take out Nurgle because he does so consistently, and this is only a +1 Nurgle, so he will be able to take out Nurgle before Nurgle gets the status buffs, because once Nurgle has the status buffs, he's going to be a lot harder to take out because he gets more DR from Lagoose Friend 4. But attacking from... I didn't want to gamble the trap because I'm pretty sure the trap was real, and it would have been harder to take out... it would have been harder to move Plumeria out of the way if I did that, because this is basically... This has to be a hit and run, because there's no way I can go all the way in on this first turn because of the unit choices that I have here. I'd have to take out Baby Dual Robin and Igrin, and then I can probably start a Warp Chain, but then around who? Because Felix here, as you can see, is not going to take any damage. And I don't want to initiate or dance or anything on this trap because both of the traps beside it are real, and that doesn't really help me. That doesn't help me. So I have to either let them come further down or go hit and run. Or go all the way in, my apologies. And going all the way in wouldn't make any sense. So take out Nurgle. That's the first strategy there. Notably here, one of the things that ends up working in my benefit further on in this match, because this takes forever to do, as I'm sure you're going to see, this took me forever to do because I had to cut so much of this because just like planning this was a pain. I forgot here that Felix inflicted isolation on himself, because the plan initially was to reposition Plumeria out with Felix, but I was like, well, crap, I can't do that. So I had to improvise. I was hoping that he would like get rid of the isolation if I like moved and then try to move again. But that's not the case. He's isolated and you're just gonna have to live with it. So I stuck him in the corner, which is what I'm gonna eventually do. And then with some clever dance support here, we're gonna get Baby Golveg to reposition Plumeria out of the danger zone there, and we're gonna also lock Baby Dual Robin, which was the plan to begin with. It's just that it got a little complicated there. Not the first time in this match, but we will continue. Panette here has been excellent so far. In Ether Raids, I haven't tried her outside of Ether Raids yet, like in any of the other game modes, but I'm pretty sure she would have been, or she is going to be fantastic there as well. Kind of similar, or really similar to what Astra provides, but Green Axe version. Plus she does a ton of damage, and also she broke the game, so how could she not be good? I want to stray away. I'm probably going to give her Laguztrin 4 at some point. I don't know exactly what to do with my fodder for
Verily.
Alphonse. I don't know what to do with my Alphonse fodder, so I'm just going to sit on it for a bit and see what comes out. I'm not particularly keen on guard
Fine by me.
for whatever it's called. I think I can hold off for a bit to pick up like a better skill eventually. I still think Laguztrin 4 is a bit better.
I see.
But I don't know. I'll just sit on it and see where it goes. Particularly for Panette, I feel like Laguztrin 4 might be better. I don't know. Could be wrong. Could not be wrong. I don't know. But that's that on the back end. So I had to lock Robin here because him rallying with the 3 movements would have been horrible. So he had to get locked. It was a choice between him and Ike. And I don't think I would have met the res check on Ike. Maybe could have if I tried to like figure it out. I probably could have, but Robin was the obvious choice here.
Let us bless them.
This is why Mur is still one of the best far saves in the game, because not only is she good as a save unit, but as a frontliner, she is incredibly tanky to take out as well. So I'm pretty much stuck here thinking, all right, can I get my team from here all the way over there to the other side on the left? And if I'm not able to do that, then we're gonna have to fight. And yeah, I had to end up fighting. Moving over to the left-hand side would mean that I could potentially lock Igrin. The block break AI would force Robin to... Someone would have to break the block, and then hopefully I could luck out somehow and not get hit. But I think I'd be safe if everyone moved over to the left. But that wouldn't have been possible based on the setup here. I had to fight someone. The flat DR in the first combat from Ather here is making a world of difference in terms of my combat forecasts here. So I'm gonna have to break the block, which at this point I didn't remember whether or not Felix, because of pressure and stress, and I already said that I am not clutch. I do not do well under pressure. I had to figure out if Felix could.
I see.
I just gave up on trying to figure out if Felix would break this block and then move again. So because it was win or lose. If I broke the block and he couldn't move, then GG's, it's over. I mean, I could like do some positional stuff with Baby Golveg and then try to dance and stuff, but it would have been... I had a plan here to try to lock Ike for the following turn. That had to happen because if he used his positional assist, there was no way I would be able to tank Ike. So that was the play. This is unfortunate, which is why I was saying the Laguztrin Miracle build on Igrin is actually pretty useful here, because if she didn't have the Miracle there, she would have been dead, which is what I needed to happen. I really needed that to happen at this point. The plan was to box dual Baby Robin in using Felix and Jimbro here.
I'll handle it.
potentially trying to take out Freyr as well, but it wasn't 100% a requirement to actually take out Freyr. Boxing in Baby Robin was really what I needed to do because he's going to have the most range after this turn. So, yet another problem. The fact that I can't kill Ygritte is yeah, that's a big problem. I'm going with Flashing Blade here because guard and getting back my AoE, but then also, I don't know, something else could be better. I need the... I don't know, something else could be better than the Flashing Blade. But it's what I decided to go with. And also, not having no follow-up here is a big problem on Felix. He really needs no follow-up, but I didn't know where to put it on this team to make it work. Could probably put it on Peony, dual Peony, but then she also has the Soaring Guidance, which is really, really good. So, yeah, there's that. The fact that I'm doing like no damage at all here is so annoying. But also, like,
what now?
It's forcing me to make this play, which is to attack into Ingrid. I could probably have tried to attack into Felix, but leaving Ingrid with the fact that she can warp is a problem. I could also have done this with maybe Golveg, but she'd be stuck, and I don't know how to get her out. I wouldn't have known how to get her out, so that was really not an option here. Yeah. So this is me scrambling, trying to figure out what to do. I'm probably gonna like cut here at some point, just like get my thoughts together in terms of what action to take. Ultimately, I have to get Baby Golveg. If she gets stuck there, then I can't lock Ike, and that's a problem. So I'm gonna have to move her down eventually, which is what I'm gonna do. Why am I narrating this like this? There's the Miracle coming in clutch. Very good combination of units here to make this defense work. And also here, you'll notice that Baby Robin is on 1 hit point. I guess it would have still ended up the same since it's based off where I attacked from, but it really does come in like really handy because of the positioning of the healing tower and the fact that Baby Robin is not within range. That's why I chose to attack Nurgle. Because I knew that eventually Baby Robin not having full health would work out in my favor because they don't get the majority of their weapon effects if they don't have full health. Here you're going to see me make a massive mistake, which is I'm going to attack again, thinking that I had the ability to then walk afterwards. I was thinking here that I had Gale Force instead of the AoE, which is weird because I've been using the AoE the whole time, so why would I even think that? But yeah, brain, numbers, sometimes you get confused in pressured situations. But I'm going to end up attacking again here because getting rid of Ingrid is the most important thing since she has a Celica ring, and I can't have her warping and killing out like all of my squishy units back here. I just can't have that happening. So I take out Ingrid eventually, and Felix is going to get stuck back there, which was the recording cut there. I was just saying that Felix getting stuck was not planned. Yeah, that just happened, and you'll see how I deal with it in a bit. I'll probably just let that part play out because it was just so crazy to watch. I couldn't believe what my eyes were like witnessing. Again, there you saw the 25% HP condition working in my favor there, because if Ygritte had all of her stats, I probably wouldn't have been able to double her, even though it wasn't necessary since the miracle had already triggered once and she wasn't going to be able to loop it. So yeah, but I'm going to let this part play out and I'll talk about something else in the meantime. Reason being, this is like this was the part that basically this was win or lose time. And yeah, you're just going to see it. In the meantime, I'm still prepping for SDS. I have not played my games yet because it's like a completely different game mode at this point. This is what, Saturday now? Yeah, and yeah, the game mode is with all the new units since the last time that we played. It's completely different. I have like I feel like I'm starting from the beginning. I've had to play so many matches just to figure out what's going on. It looks like I tried a team with Katria. That is no more Katria. It makes no sense to run Katria anymore. She basically, even with the 4 hits, you're doing no damage. Plus the warping that's going on. There's so much Celica warping going on right now. Your Gatekeeper is like so good now. Valentine's Myrrh is so good now. Like 10 out of 10 recommend. Is she on this banner? No, she's not. 10 out of 10 recommend. She is so good right now that I highly recommend you try to fit her on a team. It's probably going to get banned because that's usually what happens. Like, you build a really good team. I have like 3 good teams and then 1 that's not so good that I'm trying to fix. But yeah, that's usually what's going to happen. Your favorite team is going to get banned. But I strongly recommend building a team around her because there's so much warping, especially people trying to warp Alphonse into your face, which sucks. This here was the win here. I was so stressed out about this, but I knew that she wouldn't double because she didn't have the stats. I was just wondering how much the damage would be and whether or not Felix would actually survive. And lo and behold, we survived this turn. And from here, it's pretty easy to clean up. Since there's no more ranged threats to take out like my units here, it's just a physical fight from here. And Jimbro is going to be able to take out Ike at some point if I need him to, and Felix can handle pretty much everything else once I get the stuff off of him, like the Discord and whatever else is going on there. So yeah, I just got to figure out how to get the pass from here. And this build on Frere actually is pretty nasty. The lunge, if you're omni tanking with that, getting hit with that plus
I'll handle it.
If you don't kill it, let's say you're using Ike, the Ike team that I have, I would have retaliated with Great Ether, so he probably would have died. But if you're not retaliating with Great Ether, the lunge would have put you in range of like Igreen or Nurgle, but you still would have been in range anyway because they're both getting +1 movement from Igreen, so it's just a really well-built defense. It's so good. Kudos to him for putting that together. That's the best use of this map that I've seen in a long time, because this map was way better when the blocks were unbreakable, because you basically had to then come through either the middle or one of the side lanes. I didn't see a reason for them to make both of the blocks unbreakable. It could have just been one. That would have been fine, but IS tends to overcorrect sometimes when they do, most of the times when they do things. So best usage of this map that I've seen in a long time. Very good, very well built defense, but that's what you expect, or that's what I've learned or heard to expect from Muman. He just makes really good defenses, all really highly invested. It's pretty much what I'm hearing. So there's that. And then Golvik, baby Golvik here, also silent MVP. She's doing so much work, so much work in the back here. But yeah, SDS. Myrrh, I think is a must, even though you're probably never going to be able to use a team with her. Still put her on a team, because I feel like Myrrh, Nurgle, depending on whether or not you have a far save, you probably want to avoid Emblem Celica. Who else? I feel like those 3 are... Jimbro is kind of a problem, depending on whether or not you have some way to take... Well, he dies to most mages, so maybe I'll keep that back. I'd probably want to say Micaiah. I'd love to say that banning Ike is like what you want to be doing, but I'm the 4 units that I've named so far are pretty much worse than Ike in SDS right now. Nurgle in particular, because you need some type of you're going to get some type of status effect because they're just everywhere right now. And him yanking that from you is a massive problem. So banning Nurgle is pretty much automatic. And then I've even forgotten about Duo Leon, who is pretty much just falling off a cliff at this point. But if you don't have the team set up to counter him, then you're probably going to be in trouble. But Nurgle, I think, is #1 ban. Nurgle is #1, and then because whether he lives or dies, once he hits you, you lose your buffs, and that can cost you the game. I see a lot of people trying to use Alphonse, but I don't think SDS right now is the best game mode for him. Especially if he doesn't have the terrain effect up, he's pretty easy to take out. So, just from what I've seen so far, I wouldn't say Alphonse is scary. I'd say Felix is far more terrifying. So Felix, you probably want to add that to your ban list, because if you see Felix, there's a high possibility that he has the Celica ring, and if you can't deal with that, you're gonna lose. Because as you've seen, this is an unmerged. My Felix is unmerged, probably like 4 Dragon Flowers, if that. I don't think I gave him any actually. And he's just tanking everything, even without Gust. This is an AoE build. It's not even optimal. Like, this unit is crazy. So definitely try to ban Felix if you can. I'd recommend it. Unless you have some way to counter him, which apparently there aren't that many. Yeah, and who else? Micaiah is really annoying, especially if the other person knows how to play. And then I think I said one more, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, Celica. But that's really if you're not running a save unit that can deal with her. If you're running a save unit at all. So yeah, maybe I should put Celica on one of my teams. The thing is about Celica is that you're basically sending her in to die because she has no way to retreat after she attacks. So you're basically bluffing in terms of whether or not you're going to attack, and then when you do attack, that's it. She's done. It's like you have a. It's like you have those what do you call them again? They use them. It's like a spear gun, or the type that you used to shoot fish. It's basically one tap and you gotta reload. But in this case, you can't reload because there's no more Celicas. But yeah, trying to set my teams together. Might play today, I think. Let's see if I have the energy to do that after this recording session. I think I'm also need to play another match of Ether Raids because today is my double day. I could just double up tomorrow, but I kind of want to do it today. So there's that as well. What else? I don't know, man. I'm so tired. This match took forever to play, man. Like, right there, I was trying to figure out, or thinking to myself, if it was better to attack or to just let her, like, walk further down. Ultimately, I decided that since she was solo and not within range of the healing power, that this was the best time to get some damage in, because I'm going to get the AoE back. So next turn, it should be a little bit easier to take her out. So that's what made that choice a lot easier. And also, she will get shut down here again by Baby Golvig, who I said is basically the second MVP here because she's just doing so much. This would have been way harder if I didn't have her to stop units from moving.
What now?
Also, he didn't have cancer control on his defense, instead opting for Fatal Smoke 4 on Nurgle. Typically, well, at least for me, I would have run Canto Control somewhere there just because, but the range of this team is so far. That's not the right word for there, but you get what I'm saying. That made it so that he didn't necessarily have to run counter control. And plus, it's difficult to warp around with Mur there.
I see.
But yeah,
I'll handle it.
Felix getting the pots because he's also excellent at doing that. There, I was like, oh man, I could have actually just broken the block and attacked again instead of wasting that attack from earlier. But you live and you learn, because I did not remember that at the time. Also, I finally have learned the pattern for Brave Robin's, female Brave Robin's ice terrain. It's kind of like a diamond almost, I want to say. Yeah, kind of like a diamond, which is helpful because at least now I can have a mental image of it, so that if I see her again in the wild, it'd be a little bit easier to deal with that situation.
I'll handle it.
All else failed here. If everything else failed, I would have just shut Ike down one more time. That would have given me an extra turn to try to figure out what to do with him. And I have 3 turns left, so I could have also just ran away. Yo, the fact that Ike is surviving here is just insane, man. I think, I don't know what he was getting, but the fact that he survived the hit there, crazy. But
Why not?
we're gonna pop the dance and then take him out. Like, I've just been like just remembering and looking at this, and Connect pretty much did like one thing this entire match, which was smite. And this has pretty much just been a Felix, pretty much Felix carried this one, man. And this probably isn't the best showcase of Panette, because she was really, really good in the last one, but this just wasn't the one for her. She probably, the only thing that she could have done was try to attack Nurgle. I think she might have gotten the kill there, but Felix would have been the better initiator in that situation. But GG's.